We are next going to be joined by a congressman who is part of the House Freedom Caucus. He is one of the champions of liberty. Please join me in welcoming Congressman Paul Gosar.
Well, hello, everybody. It's great to see everybody that made this pilgrimage. I still remember 10 years ago, I was one of the products that you brought forward to Congress. So I want to say thank you. And we have not let you down. We have been one of the stalwart people looking at cutting the budget here, there, and everywhere. You know, $100 billion here, $26 billion here. Pretty soon you got $1 trillion. We ought to be more fiscally responsible. But when you take a look at it, we can't be sitting here today without looking at the tax cuts. Look at how it has empowered our economy. The average individual across this country now shows that they have an average of $1,200 more of your money in your own pocket, not in the federal government. We got a spending problem, not a revenue problem. So when you look at this, you also see this advent of socialism. You see all the Democratic nominees for president running right now. They want to take from you to redistribute wealth. We should never stand for that. You're absolutely right. But once again, they have no opportunity to get us back to personal freedoms and liberties. In order to have those, we have to have the equal application of justice. And we're at a crossroads. We saw a soft coup that occurred this year, in the last couple of years, in regards to a president duly elected. Now what we have to demand is making sure that we have those people that are responsible. This was orchestrated. This was preordained. This wasn't haphazard. Think about it. We know all about this. Fast and Furious, the IRS, Benghazi. This was all leading up to the fabrication of this trap. So what we have to do is demand justice. We want to make sure that Horowitz, Barr, and Durham deliver the goods so that those people who we have to presume are innocent till proven guilty face the facts in court. But it's also applied on free speech, that First Amendment. In order to have that First Amendment, you got to have a second. And what is being considered now cannot stand. Red flags rules do not work. We saw fix-nicks come through where it started to hamper our veterans, our Medicare recipients, and Medicaid recipients. Folks, we can't stand for this. We have to start concentrating on the victims, those perceived victims, those 800,000 to 2.4 million people that thwart a felony because they have a gun. Those are success stories. Once again, it's about the individual, not the victim. That's exactly where the Democrats want us to go. And we have to start looking at pro-life. If you don't respect it on the birthing table, and I said that particularly poignantly, where we see that baby being, we'll give it the marginal benefit while we decide its fate. If you don't have respect for life at the beginning, you have no respect for life at the end. The last thing I really want to hit is what's being taken from us in the First Amendment. It's the big tech. It's the platforms. We've been victims way too long. We saw it with the IRS. Now we're seeing it with Google, Facebook, Twitter, where we've been shadow banned, where we've been censored. We've got to have a retribution to those people. We can't infringe on the First Amendment. So what we have to do is we have to empower, do justice. That if we find that they are censoring us, if they are shadow banning us, that we have the ability to sue. Most people don't realize that the government gave these platforms blanket immunity. Blanket immunity, folks. The Communications Decency Act actually gave them blanket immunity. And we have to do this structurally perfectly right so that we don't infringe on the First Amendment. But what we do is we hold them accountable for when they wrong us on our First Amendment. Folks, now is the time. This is that pilgrimage that you're re-honoring. We can't do this just every 10 years. Our framers wanted us to have a well-educated electorate. You're the tip of the spear. Spend time teaching your grandkids, your great-grandkids. Spend the time. Our framers wanted it. Benjamin Franklin once was asked, what kind of government did you give us? He said, a republic if you can keep it. Folks, you're at that time. You're at that moment. What you do makes a big difference. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless this movement, and God bless the United States.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Congressman Gosar.